100 more miles of driving to go till I see the hills of home. Got everything I need in the back of my truck. Now all I gotta do is get the job done. When the sun comes up and the woods come alive, longbeards are gonna die. Longbeards are gonna die. Red, white, and blue heads, beards, and spurs. When he flies off the limb, I'm gonna rock his world. When the day is done and the sun goes down, another turkey's on his back in a grave he's found. Longbeards are gonna die. Yeah, longbeards are gonna die. A yelp and a cut from my old slate call. He gobbled back, I knew it was on. Up against a tree, down the barrel of a gun. He don't know what's about to come. About to take his last breath, I got my bead on his outstretched neck. The last thing you'll feel is a face full of fives. Longbeards are gonna die. Yeah, longbeards are gonna die. I'm gonna rock his world. When the day is done and the sun goes down, another turkey's on his back in a grave he's found. Longbeards are gonna die. Yeah, longbeards are gonna die. Eastern Kentucky down to Tennessee, gonna finish it up in Missouri. Powder keeps a burning and my wheels keep a turning, chasing after the kings of spring. Longbeards are gonna die. Yeah, longbeards are gonna die. Longbeards are gonna die. Yeah, longbeards are gonna die.
Yeah, he's coming. Here he comes.
thunder sounds on the ridge top. A gobbler hammering in the treetop. Gotta head up the hill and be real still. Ain't nothing else to give me this thrill. Wings beating on the branches. Caught a glimpse of where he landed. He's 100 yards coming. Now he's running right down the end of this loaded gun. I'm a running gun from the break of the sun. Gotta cut 'em off and get in front. I can't sit in a trance. I take the chance till I find one that wants to dance, son. Sometimes I wonder about my never-ending hunger for chasing thunder. And age catches up, I reminisce about my good luck while I sit in my blind, try to rewind time and wait for Tommy Turkey to walk on by. I'm a running gun from the break of the sun. Gotta cut 'em off and get in front. I can't sit in a trance. I take a chance till I find one that wants to dance, son. Sometimes I wonder about my never-ending hunger for chasing thunder. For chasing thunder. Set my alarm clock for 6 in the morning, but I jump out of bed about 10 till 4. I didn't get to sleep till 3 a.m. Thinking about gobblers and big ripe hens, waiting on the time when conditions are right. It's turkey time. Old Tommy Turkey sets the woods on fire, strutting and a drumming and burning with desire. Hit him with the yelp from my old mouth call, and he turns around and listens, fans his feathers out tall. Come a little closer for a real surprise. It's turkey time. Crazy birds are ruling my life 24/7, 365. Spending my life chasing a dream of longbeards dragging big hook spurs, falling for the sound of my sleek corn bird, running to me, setting out by an old oak tree. Oh, it's turkey time. his last big gobble. Mashed potatoes and gravy on a plate just right. Oh, it's turkey time. These crazy birds are ruling my life 24/7, 365. Spending my life chasing a dream of long beards dragging big hook spurs, falling for the sound of my sleek on bird, running to me sitting out by an old oak tree. Oh, it's turkey time. You done gobbled your last gobble, Mr. Tommy Turkey.
Hey, welcome to Mossy Oak Go Live. You know, we're in the heat of the battle now, especially down south. It's been open for a while. The footage is getting better. This block is getting very popular because the footage is getting crazy. Y'all stay tuned, check this out.
The word obsession encompasses the mindset of everyone at Mossy Oak. We obsess over hiding from, chasing, and conserving the critters we pursue. In this episode, we follow Will Dixon, son of the late Bob Dixon, one of Mossy Oak's very first employees, as he reflects on time spent with his father while chasing turkeys in Wyoming. This is The Obsessed.
So I met Bob Dixon, in '87. I'd heard about him before I ever met him, but I knew of him from Will Primos, who was our earliest supporter at Mossy Oak. And he was on the Primos Pro staff. I knew that. And I heard he was going to help Will with his early videos. And so we were invited to be on the video. And when we got there, I'll never forget coming around the bend in the road, seeing this elaborate TV production crew filming two guys leaning over under these lights and tents and stuff. And there were two guys, and I recognized Will, so I knew the other guy was Bob Dixon. And we walked up there. I think I was with Cuz, and we're kind of being quiet, not to disturb him. And I could hear him talking about, one of them talking about the J-shaped gobbler dropping and how that, meant that it was a gobbler, and they were talking about the difference between a hen and gobbler droppings. And so the first thing I ever said to Bob Dixon, I said, "It's nice to meet a man who knows his poop." I was a fan. He had the most infectious, great, wonderful personality, instant wit that I've ever known. And you know, we became fast friends in the first day that I ever met him.
But how lucky we are to be able to come out here and do this and spend time in the outdoors, and what a privilege it is. And it's so easy to take it for granted. It's so easy to take it for granted. I'm a lucky man to be able to do this right here. What I'm not gonna be so lucky about is trying to get him up this hill.
The main thing I can always remember about everybody that came along, and especially Bob's, he really believed in Mossy Oak. He really believed in the camouflage and what we were trying to do. And, you know, he just, you know, I didn't have that much. We couldn't afford that much at that time. But he's like, I believe in what y'all are doing. I'll do it. It was just amazing. And then the chemistry with him and Bill and then Cuz and everybody really just set the tone for the growth of Mossy Oak like I could have never dreamed. I guess the number one thing I want people to really take in about Bob Dixon, and it's been 15 or more years now since he passed from this earth, is that forever, and I said this at the wake the 2 days after he died, I want to be sure everybody knew. It just struck me, and it's not even just not necessarily just to pay tribute to Bob, but it's the truth. If you look around here today and all over the world and just more different types of businesses than you can even count, you see that Mossy Oak logo. You hear the name used. Just everybody needs to know that without Bob Dixon, that probably wouldn't be. There probably wouldn't be a Mossy Oak today like it is now. I can say that about a couple other people too. I'm not leaving them out, but I'm telling you, he was that important to Mossy Oak and to me and to our family and our team, Bill, Cuz, all of us in those early days, and he always will be. Man, I miss him so much. It's so hard, you know, even all these years later. And you think about, but all you can ever do is be grateful for all the great memories. And man, we had so much fun raising the kids together. And we all had a place to take our kids and spend time together. And, you know, it was a really good place, but it wasn't necessarily how good the hunting was. It's just all that time spent, you know, together and taking the kids. Oh my goodness, it was so much fun. And how much time and love he put into Will, and they hunted together all the time. They were inseparable. As great, honestly, as great of a daddy, and especially an outdoors and hunting, fishing dad as I've ever known.
Everywhere I go, it's beautiful, but this place has been truly breathtaking. And to be able to do what I love most and call up turkeys for people here has been incredible. And just getting to reconnect, and you know, you see Neil and Daniel, and it's just, we pick up where we left off years ago. You know, even though we hadn't seen each other in a couple months or a year, it's just like best friends when you're back together. You pick right up where you left off. It's been a blast, truly been a blast, and this hunt, these memories are something I wouldn't trade for anything in the world. Let's see. I moved to West Point when my dad was hired by Mossy Oak. had my first birthday there. I'm 2 or 3 years older than Daniel and Neil. Don't remember life not knowing them. My earliest memories of Mossy Oak were a one-room or one-office building downtown, West Point, Mississippi. Sold camouflage out of the front and offices in the back. I can remember going in there as a child and there'd be a dead turkey hung up in the back room where someone had killed one before work that morning. And you'd go in and sit in Uncle Bill's office or Dad's office or Mr. Toxey's office and hear the story. People ask me, what does Mossy Oak mean to me? And to me, it means family. My dad was a great guy. You know, he never met someone he wasn't friends with or didn't like. It didn't take people spending, 5 minutes with him to feel like they were best friends. He was one of the original, 6 people of Mossy Oak back when they sold camouflage door to door, mom and pop store to mom and pop store before it is the company it grew into. I've been very fortunate and blessed. I was just lucky enough to be the one that got to call him Dad. See, I don't remember not hunting. I really don't. I started turkey hunting when I was 6 years old. I'm about to turn 30. But I still remember my first one like it was yesterday. And Dad said, kill him now, kill him now. And I shot, and all I could see was fire. I didn't even know if I'd killed the turkey. And we ran out there, and he scooped me up. And I remember him looking at me and saying, son, burn this hunt into your mind forever, because you'll never kill another first turkey. I still have that shell at my house that I shot the first turkey with him. We had lots of great experiences together. He was truly my best friend. And I remember Dad sitting us down and telling us he was sick, trying to explain it to us, and being just a child, not fully grasping what it meant. And to learn about cancer and the terrible disease that it is. And we're blessed. The Mossy Oak family supported us and did things above and beyond to help in any way they could. And it just wasn't in God's plan. He has a plan for us all. But as Dad got sick, I watched him, and he started doing, I remember the first camouflage Bible that came out with, the Hunter's Bible, and going with him to different conventions and hearing him speak about how the Lord had worked in his life, and getting to watch him testify and bring people to the Lord. And they put me on a plane and flew me to Minneapolis to see him. I think at that point, they all realized that the end was very near. I was young, I didn't quite realize it, still holding on to hope that he would get better. And I got to see him one last time while he was up and able to talk to me. And we talked about hunting. The last words he ever said to me were, "We'll be hunting turkeys in no time." And you know, I didn't understand that for a while because he passed away very, very shortly after that. But as I've gotten older, I've come to understand what he meant. He's with me all the time. Every time I sit down and yelp at one. He's moving to the right.
That may be, I think that's a group of turkeys in the one here.
You
I
see
swear
those two tallest trees over there?
Yeah, that's where that
Just
turkey
to the
gobble,
right
but that
of it.
last gobble was over here. Yeah, yelp on that box. Yeah, they're not fat at all. Hey, come on. Hey, put the decoys in the road here now. Get right there.
As I've gotten older and, you know, my focus has changed and my perspective, you know, you gotta enjoy every second. It used to be more, faster, just go. And now it's like I've taken a step back and you look at the bigger picture and really appreciate the small things in life and take it all in, because you're never guaranteed another day, you know, every sunrise, every sunset, because you don't ever know if you'll never get to yelp at another one. What fuels my obsession now is to give back, making sure that my children, your children, hopefully one day my grandchildren, they have the same opportunities that I've had to experience the great outdoors. I'm Will Dixon, and I am obsessed.
You know, Mossy Oak Family Tree, it's not just our logo, which it is our logo. It's a way of life here, passing it on, involving the kids. My personal favorite, family tree. Check this out.
And like, turkey hunting is like a lot to me. It means a lot to everybody that hunts. It means a lot to them too. That time, it meant a lot to me. And I'm never going to forget that time. We just had the best date ever.
Red circle on his head. Get from behind the decal. Right there. Okay. Kill it.
Thank you, Boone. What did we just do, buddy?
Turkey hunting has become a fundamental part of who I am. 20 years ago, I shot my first one, and ever since then, it's something that I look forward to. Literally something that it's just part of my DNA. It's part of what makes me who I am. 6 years ago, almost 7 years ago, I found out that I was having my first kid. And even before I knew it was a boy, I can't lie, one of the first things that came into my mind was getting to take my kid turkey hunting for the first time.
this big here, and we were near a bunch of cows, and we saw a turkey right there in our field, right next to our blind. And I want to kill that turkey in 2 more sleeps. So wish me luck.
All right. I don't think I've ever scouted for a turkey hunt so much in my whole life for myself. I want Boone to kill a turkey so bad I can't stand it. Been working on being still, being quiet. We've done a whole lot of squirrel hunting, which in my opinion, that's the best introduction to hunting for kids. You know, you get them out, if you spook one, it's not a big deal. You learn how to be quiet, you learn how to sneak. So we've been through a lot of that, and it's all really been prepped for what we're getting ready to do this weekend. Right now, Boone's heard me talk enough about turkey hunting. He knows more about it than most 6-year-olds, but he still doesn't know the feeling, you know. He is a patient little booger though for a 6-year-old. He's as patient as any 6-year-old that I've ever seen. But I don't want to test that and push it too hard. It's just a lot going through my mind. I'm going to quit rambling. Let's go see if we can find us a long beard for Boone to shoot directly in the face. What do you say? Well, that didn't take long. Stretching right out in the middle of that field. He's probably 125 yards from the blind. It's a good sign, folks. Good sign. I'll see where they go up tonight. We'll be after him in the morning. Stay tuned.
What'd you just do?
Well, going into the opening weekend of youth season here in Kentucky, I had 2 turkeys pinned. And they were there all week, and they didn't show up. We were there the majority of both days of youth season, chasing these turkeys, and it didn't work out. And there was a whole week gap in between that youth season and regular season, and I asked him, I'm like, if you want to go again, I'll take you opening day, opening weekend, while you're out of school. So he wanted to. So going into opening weekend, we had an encounter with a bird. Came into about 75 yards, and some dogs came and busted up the flock of turkeys. We chased one right here at my house. The first turkey I've heard gobble here since I've lived here. We had him at 65 yards, wouldn't come in, and then, you know, my wife actually saw that turkey get shot by another turkey hunter off our back porch the next day. So Monday rolls around, Monday night, and I have my buddy Jordan Lee coming in Tuesday afternoon. I was going to go scout for him and try to find a couple birds. Boone had school Tuesday morning, and he caught wind that I was going turkey hunting without him, and he wasn't very happy with me. He broke down and he cried because he wanted to go turkey hunting with me that next morning. So, as any turkey hunter would do who had a kid sitting there crying, wanting to go turkey hunting with him the next day, I obviously pulled him out of school and we went turkey hunting. Now, the farm we were going to this morning, special to say the least. It's where I killed my first turkey. A lot of firsts and a lot of history on this farm. My grandpa hunted turkeys on this farm back before we had turkeys. There's a point up there called Gobbler's Knob where he used to go listen for them when he was a kid and try to kill them. He never got to kill one, but he did get to see my first one. He got to see a turkey come out of there. So, to take Boone back up there, we're going to give it, this is our 6th day of turkey hunting. So initially we go sit in a spot where I have seen several turkeys die. It's a historical good spot to sit. It's in the middle of the farm. If you have decoys out, the turkeys can see them from multiple locations. So where they were gobbling was a long way off. But I had a feeling they would ultimately end up where we were. And lo and behold, we're sitting there at about 8:15, the sun comes up and starts hitting the field, and a turkey starts gobbling back on another little point, and he gobbles about 6 times. So my impatience got the best of me, and we started chasing after this turkey that had started gobbling. And we make it about 400 yards away from where we were set up. And the 2 turkeys that had gobbled that morning gobbled 100 yards from where we were just set up. I was sick.
That turkey's gobbling up here. It's gobbling. This turkey just gobbled right there, but that's right where we just came from. But they're coming out. Come on, let's go set up. Let's go set up. Just go over there and set up, okay? Get that tree. Leave that there. I'm gonna bring it over.
And I'm looking around, trying to think about what we can do, and looked over and I'm like, well, I have called turkeys from there to here before, and we're going to try to do it again. Put the decoys out. The decoys are at 8 steps. They're close. And I know this is going to be difficult because there's going to be nothing between us and these turkeys if they decide to come in but air. We start calling at these turkeys. I had Boone around me, so Sean Riley was using his box call, and every time he would hit that, those turkeys would hammer. They'd gobble. And from that point, they never stopped coming toward us. So I'm talking to Boone, I'm telling him they're coming. I don't think he quite believed me at the time because we'd been in these situations several times over the past 6 days where I told him they could be coming, get ready, be still.
Right there. Okay. Kill it. Yes.
Boone! Boone! Oh my God! Boone! Thank you, Jesus! Thank you, God! Thank you, God! Boone! What did we just do, buddy? We just doubled. We just... Thank you, Jesus. Come here. Boone, what did we just do?
Just killed a turkey. Yeah.
Thank you, Jesus.
Oh my God.
You just shot your first turkey, buddy. I love you so much. I'm so proud of you. Oh. I've never wanted to kill a turkey so bad in all my life.
And then he moved to here. I had it on his head. And then I pulled the trigger. Dead.
Done. I didn't think they were going to separate.
I had no clue I was going to kill him.
Do you know where Daddy killed his very first turkey at?
Where?
About 75 yards right there.
Well, I was looking at your turkey. Your first turkey
Had 2 years.
was a double beard. Your first turkey. Double trouble. Hope that's... I think we might do that once or twice more.
This is the best day I've ever had. Yeah.
I can't wait. Dad, no.
It was a double beard.
I'm so proud of you, Boone.
The only thing that I want to say is, if you're going turkey hunting in the morning, I wish you luck. Yeah, we had persistence, patience, and we waited. We tried very hard, and we tried our best, and we got to the goodness. I was telling that was like one of the funnest things to do. And if you killed one, you wouldn't even know how excited you would feel.
The journey to Boone's first turkey and the journey to seeing that fire ignite in him and seeing him get excited about something that I love so much and seeing him fall in love with it too. That's why I'm here, you know? That's my reason for being, is to introduce him to these things so he can go forward in his life and do them. And when I get old, hopefully he can take me. And, you know, that's really all there is to say about it.
We just had the best date ever.
Hey, coming up next, some straight hunting, one of our own here at Mossy Oak. Some of the best videos, some of the best tips. Watch close and you'll understand why we call it straight hunting.
What's our first day down here in South Carolina? My friend Buddy Davis.
The odds are stacked against us. I've never hunted South Carolina. The weather is supposed to be cold and rainy, which makes these turkeys bipolar. And my dad's grumpy because he wanted to stay in Florida for spring break. This isn't gonna be easy.
We just struck a bird from like 30 yards up here, and they're already. It's not there. They just gobbled again. Just gobbled again. It's about 11:30, and these birds are gobbling good right now. Just sit right back there. There, they just gobbled again. He's behind you. Oh, I can. I can now. Yep. They did it the way you wanted to do it. They come to the call perfect. They saw that new Jake and it was over. And I got really nervous that they were gonna get away when they started getting in the woods here, but couldn't let them do it. We got double beard.
Double beard.
That's my first South Carolina turkey. God, that was awesome. You can't beat that.
Hey, you know, it's fascinating to me, but one of the big mistakes about turkey hunting is calling. And I've judged contests, got in some early. I figured out real quick that wasn't my forte, but hey, not everybody sounds like Dave Owens on the Pinhoti project. But you know what? Doesn't matter. It's all about where you're sitting on the ground. That calling sounds good, But I promise you, if you took a hen, put it in the contest, she'd probably finish last. So, hey, if you don't sound like Dave Owens or Paul Butsky or somebody, don't let that slow you down. It's never slowed me down.
Good morning, ladies and gents. That's a shotgun barrel you see on my shoulder now. It's become that time. Drew will join me as cameraman this morning, but he has to go back today. But we're already in. We got to our parking spot. Didn't even have time to really relax. Had somebody come in on us, so pretty nice guy though. Made sure we weren't going to bump into each other, so it all worked out. It's supposed to be still finally, so we should be able to hear some turkeys gobble if they gobble. Well, we're already at our spot here. We're not quite, but almost 2 hours before daylight. Well, we sit down for about 20-30 minutes, and here comes somebody. Walks up to us and tells us that he's going to walk right down here and set up. He said we were going to set up right there, and I said, well, I don't know what to tell you. He said, well, I guess we'll go on down this road. I said, well, that's the road that we're hunting. Expect the birds to be roosted down it somewhere. That's why we're not walking down it. He says, well, it's public land. I said, yeah, and it can be good as long as everybody's ethical and respectful. Man, Florida's just been plagued with disrespectful folks this year. Y'all probably getting tired of hearing us whine about people on this here Pinhoti project, but, well, public land at our finest. It's starting to break a little bit. We've had to endure some showers this morning that not so sure anybody knew about, including the meteorologist. Just dead. There ain't hardly nothing doing nothing, is there? Heard about 2 birds. One gobbler. He's gobbled 3 times, I think, but he's about a mile south of us here. We got a guy with his decoys set up about, I don't know, 175 from us here. So it's kind of interfering with the way I want to go about the morning. I feel like I got me a mosquito this morning. I guess we're going to do a little slow trolling. That rain has kind of made everything dead. Just a handful of songbirds singing. were just bebopping down the road, taking it really slow, calling, soft calling. And Drew looks up and says, "What's that in the road?" And I put my binos on. It's a big old gobbler. Just standing there looking, but he hadn't seen us. And a hen came out of the right side. She hadn't seen us either, but then she got in the road and put her head up and kind of got nervous looking and fast walked back to the gobbler, and they went on off to the left. We're going to keep on doing what we were doing. We gave it about 30, 40 minutes here. Hop into this cypress head and loop it around back to the road. Well, it's been a long day afield. What do you think, Joe? Walked a long way. The gobbler that we saw on the road right back there this morning, that I was looking forward to getting back to about this time of day on our walk out, a fella was sitting over him when we got there. Yeah, we were about 15 minutes late.
Congrats to him.
Yeah, nice fella.
Nice guy.
Said he was walking up the road and on his way out, hit the mouth call and turkey gobbled 150 yards and about run over him. We was close. We shouldn't have hunted as hard as we did. Should have came out a little sooner. Maybe tomorrow. Top of the morning to you. It is that time. All you guys get is me this morning. So I've just went from hunter or cameraman to hunter and cameraman. It's kind of the way this works. But anyways, if y'all noticed that you getting to see more of my beautiful face this morning, that's because there was a slight problem when we got a shower last night, because we did get a shower last night, and that's refreshing. But I lost my beard trimmer guard cover before I left, but then I found it, I thought. So I clipped it on my little beard trimmer, threw it in my bag, and we took off down here in South Florida. Last night, that old beard got a little out of hand, started itching me a little bit, started looking like Lake Pickle. Lake Pickle's a good old boy, but his beard, I didn't want to do that. So I was in there showering up, and there ain't no mirror in this little place, so I just kind of felt my way through it. I tried to use my cell phone on that selfie mode, and it didn't work real well. But anyways, I got most of it knocked down, then I got the feeling, I was like, man, that awful short. Got out here to the truck, looked in my little mirror. I done got the wrong beard trimmer guard, little beard guard. So she's nice and tight, boys. That might be a good thing for any ladies that are watching. But anyways, that's why there's a little bit of a change of scenery. It'll be back to normal here in about, I don't know, who am I kidding? It'll be back to normal in about 3 weeks. It's time for the cardio part of the show. We're still moving, and unfortunately, we're moving in the, well, now we're going in the right direction, but I'm just bebopping down through here, daydreaming, you know, just, you know, walking, wondering what, you know, Jennifer Aniston's doing right now, wondering if she's as crazy as everybody says she is. But you can't believe the tabloids, I don't guess, but still, a woman that good looking has had so much trouble keeping a man. You gotta know there's some kind of screw loose. But anyway, walking down through here and it's like, man, it seems like I should have done made my turn off by now. So I'll whip out the old map. And yeah, I should have made my turn off about 20 minutes ago. I'm over 1,000 yards past where I was supposed to turn off. We're turning around and going back up to find that turn off. And then we're supposed to have another mile to go down the road. Oh, goodness gracious, I'm digging my own hole here. And that has been the problem. I just heard a turkey gobble, finally. He gobbled one time, and he's probably over a half mile away. But it may be the only game in town, it sounds like, so guess where we're headed. And Joker's probably already on the ground now. We're doing the best we can. I hadn't heard him gobble again. Let's try him right here. Sorry about that. Did you guys come in from the north? From the side? I just saw, did y'all just step out in the road? I could have swore I saw something step out in the road and thought it was a deer. Yeah. Well, I'll back up this way and get out of y'all's way. Okay. Yep, you got it, man. There's a guy set up in the road right there. Unbelievable. If I hadn't missed my turn this morning, would I have beat him there? Who knows? Unfreaking real. And while I'm in a bad mood, I want to call your attention to one other thing. I got that turkey gobble 2 times. He's at least 5, 6, 700 yards on the other side of those guys and south of them. I didn't say, well, I was going to head down here. This is where I've always hunted. This is public land. I didn't do any of that. Like it's happened to us already twice this year in the 4 days of hunting. That's the only turkey that I've heard. And them boys were there, so I turned my butt around. And I'm gonna go back somewhere, try to find a different one. The only turkey I feel like I'm gonna hear today. But I'm gonna walk the mile, literally it's a mile, back down here to this road and go south. So, we're just practicing the golden rule. No surprises. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Unfortunately, it's not do unto others as has been done unto you. Because I'd be in a lot better situation right now. The turkey just gobbled way to the south. Don't think it's that. If it is that same turkey them boys are set up on, he's flown down and started going west. And I dropped a pin where I thought I heard that turkey last. He's still about a half mile away. But I'm fixing to start calling because if that is the same turkey, he's already moved to the west a lot. And I don't want him to be moving to the west and me be on his west side and him run into me. closer. We got our boots and our socks off, letting them air out. As you can tell, we got the gun strapped across our back now, and we're back on the road. So I guess you can call this desperation mode. I've picked my way through those cypress domes. I mean, just inch by inch. Soft calling, picking up the volume, doing anything I could to try to provoke one that was in there to gobble, but it just did not happen. We're gonna try to bust through here real quick and get around the area that that old boy was at this morning. Man, it'd be nice if he came back and we was able to put him on a limb. I'll walk all the way in here, like over 2 miles just to roost. Gotta get back here in the area, and I'm about 250 from where I want to kind of hit the brakes, come out on this road. You can see 250. So I just kind of pop out on the corner over there with my binos. There's a gobbler standing in the road down there at like 260. Well, I wasn't careful enough when I popped out and he saw something. Even at that distance, dang it, man, if I'd have just been careful. I think we pretty much ride off a gobble for the evening, so. Good morning. We are at the gate. Fixing to get started on the trek in. I'm beat this morning, boy. God, I'm beat. But I don't know what we're gonna, I know what we're gonna do. I don't know if it's gonna work. When I was in here yesterday, I saw that gobbler in the road. He kind of saw me, but not really. Ended up getting one more glimpse of him across that road, a couple 100 yards down. Never heard anything fly up. He didn't gobble, nothing gobbled. I could have heard a pin drop blast yesterday evening, and there was nothing. Turkey just turned out gobbling really well. Keep our fingers crossed that something good happens this morning. We're running out of time here in Florida. Somebody did hit the road and head west, so. Well, it's starting to break and our boy just gobbled. He's straight in from where I saw him go off the road about 150 or 175. I'm gonna stay on the road. I'm gonna try to do a fly down out here and get that turkey to pitch all the way to this road. I don't want to get in there and that stuff with him. Alright, I'm just standing up in this vegetation along the side of this road, and I'm kind of just gonna wait. Hopefully he flies to this road. And I'm just gonna have to try to spin, and whenever I decide which way he's gonna fly down, could be to my left or to my right. I just walked up the road there and did a couple fly downs with a wing. Man, I hope this works. I feel for sure he's coming to this road, but where at on the road is the question. Here goes nothing. These turkeys, especially that turkey, is in some kind of mood. Goodness, I can't get these turkeys to. And for the last 3 days, since I've been carrying this gun, not always the case. And more often than not, it's not the case. You're watching that unfold now. Still moving. I'm gonna run the fun right out of this. This area right here looks great, and it has since the first time I walked through here. It's just the tracks and stuff. Extremely fresh. Nice little spot. Can't strike a turkey in it for nothing. So, I'm sitting down here for, I don't know, 30 minutes maybe. I got my boots off, let my feet air out. Well, I guess we're gonna do an all-day or daylight till dark. It's 3:30. I'm picking my way through this big cypress head. It'll lead me back around to the east side. I don't know what else to do. Well, this is the last ditch effort here. It's probably 4 o'clock. So this roadway that I saw that turkey on yesterday and that I think he calls home is right here in front of me. I've got my butt planted here for the next couple hours. And I hate hunting them like this, but I'm gonna. That's all I got left. I'm hoping he comes down this road because I've worked and picked apart this place today and have come about as close to killing a turkey as I would if I would have went to the zoo. Probably closer if I went to the zoo. Some dangerous animals there. Well, that's the sun setting you see back there. That's probably the sunset on my Florida little rendezvous this year. I knew I only had a few days to make it come together for myself, and I honestly can say that I swung the bat as hard as I could swing it. It's 7:30 right now. I left the truck at 5 o'clock this morning. So, that's 14 and a half hours, and we got an hour walk out of here. So, I give it 110 today. I can rest easy knowing that. So that's the only thing about those of us that hit it as hard as we do for these things and enjoy them as much as we do, and how it seems like our successes, the celebrations may seem a bit exaggerated. The thing is, when we don't succeed, what often isn't talked about is how the bitter taste of failure is also exaggerated. And the success is in the sunrise, don't get me wrong. And being down here and hunting gobblers in the sand, and I had an absolute ball with my brother, getting him his first 2 Osceolas. I know he was ecstatic. But, you know, I'm looking like I'm gonna leave without one for myself for the first time in God, 12, 13 years. Y'all are probably tired of hearing me moan. So, y'all enjoy looking at my feet walk out, I guess.
You know, just like Tom Kelly, Mr. Fox Hayes, Toxie's dad, is a national treasure. If you can only pick one to watch during the live app, check this out.
It gets any better than this, I don't know how much.
So it's spring of 2019. I guess I started in spring of 1968. So it's like 51 years going with my daddy.
You know, not many people are fortunate I am. When you get in the so-called golden years, I don't think I've reached it yet because things have been going so well. I got hooked turkey hunting a long time ago. As I got older, I was worried about whether I could keep turkey hunting and whatnot. And along come, I have a son that absolutely loves it, and he had two boys that love it. And supposedly the golden years, I've got me 3 trained guides. One can lead me, and the other 2 keep me from falling on my fanny. So anytime I get to go, I know I got them to help me.
It helps me to always never take it for granted, and especially in the springtime, because that's what we love the most, to get to go spend time in the woods with him. And, you know, it's just, I'm overwhelmed with the gratitude of ever been able to go with him. I think it's been 4 years in a row, maybe 5, and I haven't missed, other than one time, I have not missed going with him when he got ready to go. And so maybe I put some stuff on hold, and maybe I hadn't done a lot of traveling, but I've had the time of my life and the best years of my entire turkey career, if you want to call it that, because I've stayed at home and I've always been here when he got ready to go. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
The first hunt this year, we went on a place my son owned, and when I realized my age is catching up with me, because we stand up there before daylight, and Neil turned to Toxie and said, "You hear him?" And they said, "Yeah." I said, and they looked at me and I said, "No, I didn't hear him." But anyway, we got set up, and Neil got his camera, everything. We sat down, and after a little bit, we had a beautiful spot. And then all of a sudden I could hear him loud and clear. You gonna tell me what I ain't shooting? Yes, sir. Yeah.
We had the perfect setup and the perfect place to get him, and for some reason the turkeys made a loop right around just out of gun range of him and stood within 20 yards of me back behind him for 20 minutes just gobbling his brains out and never gave Daddy a shot. But it was a great hunt. 2
weeks later, I guess it was, the we decided we were going out to the cabin, and the man that worked for us had located a couple of them, and so we got in there and before daylight and got situated. Turkey was gobbling good, and the turkey we were hunting was out to the north of us, and I could hear him gobbling pretty good.
He's about to pop out at 20 yards. I'll tell you whenever he comes out. We got him.
You got him, Papa.
How about that? If it gets any better than this, I don't know how much.
So, you know, it all happened so fast, and then the next thing you know, chaos ensues, and I think the turkey's getting away for just a second. Boy, when Daniel and I got our foot on him, and we're able to take him back and set the turkey down, it's just one of those things. I've said it before, like a couple years ago when Harold was here. You just can't understand the energy in the air and in the woods with him and the joy for him and something he loves so much when you are able to set that turkey at his feet and he can lay his hands on him. Maybe there's some scenes here you can kind of see how he feels about that, but it's such a powerful emotion that I just can't describe it. And having your sons there on top of it was just icing on the cake, like hard to describe.
72 years of being able to kill at least one turkey a year. You got to grow old to get to do that. I get to look back and see my children grow up and they both love the woods just like I do. So needless to say, it was a very fulfilling morning for me. I don't expect I get too many more of those, but I'm gonna get caught trying.
There's a lot of laughs and smiles, and it's just one of those things. It's the goal, it's the primary goal of the Hayes family every spring, to see to it that my dad gets to enjoy what he gave to all of us, rightfully so. And you know, it's a relief, but it's also just one of those experiences that we're never going to take for granted, and years from now will still be the most special thing that we do and remember from every spring.
I look forward to 73. If they'll put up with me, I'm going to be game to try another next year. I'm Fox Hayes, and I've just completed my 72nd successful turkey season.
Hey, turkey hunting will do several things to you while you're moving forward in your hunting career, but the main thing it'll do is make you humble. I don't care if you're the Grand National Champion, the best shot in the world, have all the great dirt, turkeys will make you humble. Check this out.
Yeah, those 3 are still out there. Well, there's my Oklahoma limit. Dang it. Too bad they're all jakes. Another one's strutting out in the field. There's another one strutting in the field. They're coming to us. They have no idea how lucky they are. Hey, Bender, you want the gun?
And I'm gonna speak for both of us because I know how we hunt, but like there's a lot of people who'd be like, well, if you go to that tree, you might spook him and blow it for the day. I'm like, I'm willing to take that risk.
Right. And a lot of that depends on, too, if you've already called. If I've already called and he's already responded, I'm not as apt to go up there and maybe bust him because I don't want him to get real call shy.
Yeah, he may, exactly.
I want to get real call shy. But if I haven't called yet, and I try to wait till the last minute,
possibly can.
I try to wait till the last minute to give any hen yelps because I don't want him to think that there's a hen over there and then he may break at any time. I don't want to play that guessing game. So I'm going to go try to get set up as close as I can before I ever make a hen sound. You know, if you get to that tree or that spot, you have your best opportunity, but you might bust him, so you got to decide that every single time.
I can see him right there. Just get on that tree right there. Watch to the right. You gotta follow those hands. Right when they get in that opening right there, shoot, okay? All right, shoot him, shoot him. Yeah! You smoked him. You did so good, you did so good! Holy cow. You're a killer!
I love Rios and colors in them.
So
what a pretty turkey, that's awesome.
Oh, that's awesome.
Smoked another one here in Oklahoma.
Thank you,
Super
that
cool.
was awesome.
Yeah, man.
Of course, John and Angie, they were awesome. They're great hosts. They fed us and let us stay at their house. And I mean, we put a pretty good whooping on the turkeys with them. But Oklahoma was awesome. And since we had gone that far, we were like, why don't we just go on to Texas?
That's right.
Here at Mossy Oak, the passion for turkey hunting has been in our blood for a long time. That passion watered the roots for our initial introduction into making camouflage over 30 years ago with our original bottomland, and is still growing today with our NWTF obsession pattern, which in our opinion is as close as you can get to disappearing in the spring woods. Mossy Oak Obsession, the official camouflage of the NWTF.
gun today. Let's see what happens. Down this creek, so we're gonna try to ease around and try to get ahead of them. We'll see what we can make happen.
All right, so we just got back to the truck from the first spot we went to. We had one goblin, but he wouldn't make a move, had too many hens, so we're fixing to go to this next spot and see what happens. So it's about 9:40 or so, so hopefully if they had any hens, they're gone now, so we'll see. It's fixing to start raining, it's cloudy. Who knows what'll happen.
We just got over here to our other spot. We seen two gobblers on the way in. They're right here next to the drive coming in, so we kind of let them be. We're gonna try to circle back around and see if we can't get on some. Made it top this hill. If you can tell, we're both out of shape. This gobble was about 100 yards off, so we're gonna try to hurry and set out some decoys. If it's gonna happen, it'll probably happen quick, so stay with us. Let's see what we can do.
Oh boy, go get him, go get him, go get him. Get him. What do you think? Hey, got it done. Opening morning youth season here in Georgia. Casey got it done. It's a long morning. I don't know what time it is, 10 o'clock, something like that. We've been chasing birds all day. These kind of snuck in on us. And
called one time, they were right on top of us.
Yeah, called once with the Woodhaven and it was all over.
They were 5
Great
yards
bird.
from us.
Now it's time to pack him out.
Okay. That's gonna be a whole nother story. Yeah, Dad. Okay, so we are sitting we were sitting there and Dad decided to call. We were down there we came up the hill and Dad decided to call up here. And he said he saw some turkeys, a bunch of gobblers around here. So he came up here, he called once. We heard one gobble. We don't know if it was this one or the other 5 with him, but it was over there. And then as soon as we got down and ready, I got my gun up. As soon as Dad called again, right here. They were standing like 10 yards, 20, 15 yards from us. And then I saw one come up, put its head up, which was this one. And then I saw another one strut, but I only just saw it fan. And then I saw another one way over here. I about pulled the trigger at the wrong time. I had it right here on his neck, and then it went.
Hey, we just want to give you a few calling tips and just show you how we doing this and what we do with it. I'm going to run this new spur call here. It's a glass over glass, and it's turkey. You just listen here and see what you think. Practice this while you're watching us on the Spur Season 2 show this year on Mossy Oak Go app. Good luck this spring.
Next up, we're going to follow along with BJ Bleakley, Brandon Scher, and Eric Sandiford as they head to Alabama. After arriving in camp, the guys load up and head out to roost a turkey for the next morning.
Purchase your tracks.
Give it a little.
was a tough earned one. I told you I heard him drumming, and I heard him right in there. And then I was like, I know he's right there. So when I look left, and you're like, where is he? But that footage is, oh my God.
I hope you enjoyed this show. See you next week. Thank you for watching Spur Season on the Mossy Oak Go app.
Hey, coming up, we got some more from the Lindsay Way. And yeah, they're big whitetail guys, but I've learned that if you're good in one area, you're going to be good in the next. It just depends on if you have the itch or the interest. Well, trust me, they got it for turkeys too.
Red, white, and blue has beards and spurs. When he flies off the limb, I'm gonna rock his world. Longbeards are gonna die. Yeah, longbeards are gonna die.
Yeah, you did this with hell. See, it's going right now.
What are we doing? Is it turkey season tomorrow?
Man, turkey season starts tomorrow.
Cash.
Pretty pumped up about it. We got a bird.
Fish, clean fish.
That camera guys just got here. They had to dry versus fly thanks to COVID-19. We got a bird somewhat pattern. Just pulled a camera on a Spartan. Got a bunch sending pics to us, but they weren't showing us any morning time activity. But we got a bird. 3 of the last 4 evenings. He's been in this, what we call my dad's field. Big field, big field. I mean, he's coming out in about the same spot it appears, so he could be in trouble.
What do you think? He's probably coming out that road. Even if he don't, that road's higher.
What road?
Up on all the way to the very end? No.
He's coming out right there about by your old deer feeder right there.
Oh, really? Okay. There's a hump right there. You could go higher if you wanted to, come back this way a little bit.
I think I seen that big gobbler track last week when I was taking Cash, walking through by himself on the double level. So he's right in that area.
Yeah. That's good.
I did.
What do you got?
Fish, bass. That's what we got.
Went out there and filleted them, didn't we, bud?
I got 6 strikers. I think I'm good. Little bird's eye. Open the morning in Georgia. Go make sure these turkeys ain't got coronavirus. Might just have to eradicate them. It's the only choice. We got a bird that me and Cash heard when we hunted last weekend, and I think it's the one that was on the camera when I checked it last night. So go set up, put Big D on him.
That was 2 birds. Was it? That's 2 different birds, ain't it? That one is, yeah. Maybe. It comes out to the left, it's gonna walk right by us, go to them decoys. I ain't worried about it. Yeah, it's him. Coming this way too. He's coming, he's coming, he's coming this way.
80 yards now, coming in. Coming right down this edge.
Don't boom nobody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Opening morning.
Yes. I can't tell you last time that happened in Georgia, guys. Yes.
He destroyed the decoy. That was awesome. It made me nervous. Good Lord, we watched the bird for probably an hour.
That was so fun. I wish Cass or Jackson had been here. That would have been cool too. Let them watch that.
I'm gonna guess this is a big bird.
They're pretty good.
Oh yeah. He's a good bird.
Boy, he didn't flop much, did he?
They look so much smaller compared to those Iowa birds.
They are, really. Man, I don't know the last time I killed a bird opening day in Georgia. Boy, he put on a show, didn't he? Golly.
You don't hear them spitting and drumming like that.
Oh, it's a good feeling, opening day. Bird down.
Pretty. That's pretty, him walking down through there, and then when he started getting in there and coming in sideways.
He gets up there and he's just pecking that decoy.
Day is done and the sun's going down. Another turkey's on his back in a grave he's found. The guys all giving me high fives. Another turkey's ready to fry. Another longbeard is ready to fry.
You know, if you turkey hunt your whole life, I've been doing it for 50 years, you're only gonna get a few easy turkeys that gobble on the roost, fly down, walk straight in, don't pick you out. Let's see if we got any easy turkeys coming up.
I just got a text, Bubba got a turkey. Is that frustrating? Are you happy for him now?
I like how he got one the first day. I had to get one in 2 years.
At the same place.
So last turkey season, I kind of just got left in the tracks when it comes to hunting turkeys. So last year, Crank Ben was the one that got to hunt the devil a lot, and so they were so focused on doing that I didn't really get to go that often.
And it ain't that he's a devil, it's just he gave us the devil because we were limited in our techniques. Cranky stuck it out. I bet you he's got 50 or 60 hours on this turkey.
Yeah, easy. That turkey.
That turkey right there.
This season is going to be my first one where I'm really able to hunt turkeys a lot more than I was able to the past 2 years.
You excited? Pop's gonna be here. Yeah, he's always early, isn't he?
What time is it?
It's real early.
Okay. So I was really excited to go, and we sat there for like 45 minutes waiting on the sun to come out. And finally, a little bit of sunrise started, and so we headed out and we walked down. It was really muddy. We almost got stuck a couple times walking. So on the way walking down the road, we heard a lot of turkeys, and they were from all different directions. You would hear them like this way, and then you heard them that way. It was just crazy. And so we heard like 2 or 3 to the left, okay? Keep that in mind. We heard 2 or 3 to the left, and I was like, those are pretty close. And then we heard one like almost straight to the right a little bit, and then couple to the right, but those were really distant. They were pretty far away.
I've got like 2 windows right here and right there.
You can shoot straight above you, can't you?
Yes, sir. Right where I'm looking right now.
We went through 2 different types of calls, mouth calls and a tube call. And my pop's really good with the tube call, and he started using the mouth call a little bit. That was the first one he pulled out, and it never gobbled to the mouth call. And then he pulls out the tube call, and then it's just like it wakes up.
Yeah, they coming. Get ready.
From the one that was to the front right is now behind us, and then the ones that were the 3 to the left are now in front of us to the left a little bit. And so we start calling more, and then those ones just get closer and closer and closer, and then we see them.
Oh, I see them.
Here they come.
That's a big one.
Easy going out there toward the field. Get ready, not fast. There you go, just get ready.
Which one's the biggest? Can you tell yet? Bob, I'm kind of ready. Do you want me to wait for it to stop? Bob.
Pick your one out real slow and shoot it. Pick your one out. Get the lead one.
Yes, sir.
Hurry up. Right there, put your foot on his neck. Put him in the gun. Put your foot in his neck.
Step on his neck. Well, tell me about running out there, because normally we don't do that.
Yeah, mine just I was kind of shooting far away, so it just kind of flopped around a little bit, which that's very common. It's just their nerves and stuff that when they die that happens. And I ran out there because Pop told me, he goes, go run out there and step on its neck, and I do that, and you never really know how powerful they are until you start doing that. When they're flapping, they get a bunch of air under them. But I did it, and I got the turkey.
Cranky says turkey hunting comes hard to him. It comes easy to this one. He's done killed a bunch of longbeards. Which one did you pick out, buddy?
The leading one.
The lead one?
It was the biggest.
That was an awesome shot.
Thank you.
You hammered. Good job. You smashed his head, too. You something else. Pull your head in that thing. Did you have faith? You didn't think we was going to get one, did you?
Oh, man. When I heard how many were gobbling, I was like, oh, today's the day. It is the first day.
Hey, people are always giving me grief.
Like that's
about the tube call. Tell them about it.
It is the most efficient call he has.
They wouldn't gobble it in that nest. Yeah.
It's like he pulled out mouth calls. And I mean, it sounded great, and then they wouldn't gobble. And he's like, all right, let me get the tube call out. Starts using it, and then all three of them walking up this way. And I guessed it. I was like, that's got to be three down there. There's three coming.
There's four of them, wasn't it?
Three.
There's three.
This was the leading one, and then two in the back, I guess were like his bodyguards or something. But that was awesome.
Did you get fired up?
Yes, sir.
Your chest banging? Hey.
I was just like...
I'm sorry that we didn't get much video, but we didn't have time to get much video. It stayed dark forever, didn't it, buddy?
Yes, sir.
And as soon as we sat down, it was on. I almost forgot to turn the camera on this opening day in Mississippi. Not youth season, adult season. Opening day in youth season. And there we sat. You done killed 6 or 8 of these longbeards.
I know, it's so awesome.
Cranky said the other day, he said, turkey hunting comes hard to me, but it comes easy. Look, you didn't remind me to take my light off. Still got my gate light on. Dang it. All right. Well, congratulations, man.
Thank you.
You're a turkey killing machine,
yes,
bud.
Sir.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Okay.
It's okay. I mean, it's not as big as the devil. Nowhere near the devil. The one you killed in Illinois was way bigger. Looks like a strawberry. Ooh, it's cold.
Give him a hug. Tell him congrats.
Good job.
Seems about right.
All right. We fixing to take this turkey and trim it up. Here's the first thing you do. Look here. See the beard?
Mm-hmm.
So you get up above it. And the way I used to save them, you can do it with wax. You can melt a candle and put wax around it. I used to do it with chewing gum. I'd get me a big wad of bubble gum and chew it and put it around there and just hang it up and let it dry. So there's your long beard right there. And then if you want to save the fan, you just grab it at the bottom. Just like that. Cut that fan off. Look at there. Comes right off. And you put it face down on a piece of cardboard, put pins in it, put some 20 butane borax on there, and it dries it out. So there's your fan. And usually you can keep the spurs. That's a 2-year-old. We may not keep them. But here's the good part. This is where all the breast meat is. Some people keep the legs. I don't. But this is where all the breast meat is. Feel that bone right there. Feel that? That's the breastbone. We'll cut into that.
not as bad on camera. You can't hear most of it.
What do you mean bad?
Like the sound and then looking at it is just.
See, it's just like filleting a fish. Grab that skin and pull it down.
I mean, a fish isn't as.
It's like that. See that? See how that skin comes off? Pull it down just like that. What's wrong, buddy?
Nothing.
See there? There's the breast meat right there. That whole thing is 2 sides. I don't know what plural for that is. I don't know if it's 1 breast or 2, but it's 2 big hunks that come off of there. Gotta keep your feathers out of there.
You know, people on camera better be lucky y'all can't smell through those things.
You don't like the way it smells?
I mean, when it just came out of the oven, yeah, but not from right here.
I'm gonna fry this one. Just like filleting a fish. Get right up against that breastbone.
Get on the other side so I don't hear it as well.
How does Pop cook it? Fried. What's it taste like?
It tastes like chewier chicken nuggets to me.
Again, sorry for the not much video, but it just is what it is, was what it was. I think I'll take. You never did remind me to take my dang headlight off. I look like a goober. It's a million wonders they didn't see that. Had this on my hat the whole time.
For over 30 years, our staff has made it a point of letting turkeys test our camo. The result of that critter-assisted R&D has led to all-new Mossy Oak Obsession, the official camo of the NWTF. Designed with remarkable realism to perfectly match the spring woods, Obsession will forever change how you look at camo. New Mossy Oak Obsession, designed for your obsession.
This year is about the kids. We love introducing the kids to the outdoors. This year's game plan, me, Kurt, Ian, Jake, got Natalie and Hayden together. We decided to hunt the same farm, just hoping for one of the girls to be successful. We hunted about 200 yards apart. They were gobbling this morning. It was wonderful. And I actually was blessed to take my little boy, he was 4 years old too, on his first hunt. He was with us too.
It's our first time out this year, youth turkey season. Hayden has not been able to go out for the last couple of years. We're very excited to have this time together, and even more, I got my little boy right behind me. He wanted to come out and see what this is all about. In a couple of years, hopefully he's behind the gun. So that's what it's all about, family and friends, and introducing the young ones to the outdoors. So we're pretty excited. It's been slow this morning. Took us a while to get in here, but we've got Kurt Gedge, then we've got Jake Reed and Natalie, his daughter. They're over about 300 yards straight north of us, sitting on the same farm, so we've got both ends. So hopefully these birds will cooperate here. In a few minutes, it's just 1 or 2 gobblers. This farm's loaded. Natalie killed off this farm last year, so we're gonna sit back and see what happens. What do you think, Hayden? You excited? She's pretty excited.
That morning it was pretty slow for us with Hayden, but we did hear a lot of gobbling over by Kurt and Natalie, so we were just waiting for that phone call. We knew the birds were hammering over there. We heard them all mid-morning and everything, so we were hoping for success.
Sounds like Natalie just shot. I was down here locating, we got some gobblers that's just been hanging up in this timber. And Ian started whistling. I looked back. Finally, it took several times. He's like, turkey, turkey. So I snuck back around to the blind. I just now got to where you see me now, and Natalie's gun just went off. So fingers crossed that we've got a bird down.
We got a turkey goblin. It might be the same one that we saw yesterday in the fog. He was in range, but probably not in range for this 20 gauge. If I was hunting, I could have probably taken the shot. He's about 40, 45 yards. But we got one. He's coming from the exact same spot that this one came, kind of the same way. So hopefully this time he comes to the decoys instead of hanging up out of range. Well, we're gonna wait these toms out. Hopefully they'll give Natalie a shot, right? Well, shoot, we were close, but had 3 longbeards make their way up. They're following 1 or 2 hens, I'm not really sure. We started calling at them, and we thought they were gonna come and circle back around this brush pile in front of us and come into the decoys. And in fact, one of them did, but he popped out from behind the brush pile at about 25 yards or so, and he was just like, he saw something and he didn't run away, but he looked nervous. Maybe we'll get a shot here in a little bit, but we're just gonna kind of hang out and see what happens. There's lots of turkeys in this area, so, and it seems like the later in the day you go, the better off it is. You got your second one.
So we were just sitting there patiently waiting for Kurt's text message saying that she killed a turkey, and we were just so excited. Finally, he got a hold of us. Once we got the words that she did harvest a turkey, the kids were out of the blind before me and Ian could even say something. They started running up there, and it was pretty cool to see the kids interact with each other and show each other the beard and the spurs of the turkey and just be a big part of it together. So it was a great experience. So once we got all back to the trucks, the kids, of course, their kids, they were running around having fun together and everything, and we were all just sitting around the trucks deciding a game plan for Hayden. So we decided on a spot. We've had many successful hunts there. We decided to take a ground blind, go in and just kind of be calm and just see what happens. It's midday afternoon hunting. You know, sometimes the bird activity can be low when it comes to calling. So we decided to sit back.
I tell you what, I'm glad to see spring. But yes, it's very hot. We actually walked in here and we had a good game plan coming in. We know this farm, we know what the birds do. And as we were coming in here, we had 3 toms working the ridge up. No more routine, we see them do it all the time. I feel pretty confident about this setup and this farm, so hang in there. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get Hayden decked out, and that would be a great start to victory.
And it was 45 minutes, I think. We're sitting there, the kids are actually in the blind sleeping, and at least they're quiet. And Ian's like, hey, there's a turkey. And I'm like, what? Well, there's a turkey up on the ridge working our way. So we started actually getting a little aggressive with the calling. Finally, we got the bird's attention enough that he worked down behind us, hoping that he would come in front of us.
Birds, 30 yards. He's right behind us. He's coming in, so get in position.
So once we got him in position to where I thought it was going to happen, we got Hayden woke up. We left Brentley asleep actually, because the less movement, the better.
Got him. Okay. All right, we see him now, Ian. Okay, yeah. We have no shot right there, though. Okay, boy, he's moving. Aiden, move this way. Okay, Aiden, when he gets past that tree, we're gonna let him have it. Okay. You see him, Aiden? Yeah. Okay. Bring down the trigger, Aiden. Put it on him, now squeeze the trigger. Put the dot on him and squeeze the trigger. Oh my God, Aiden. We got it. Yes! Oh my God! Good job!
We got it, guys!
Oh my God!
Just fine.
What?
Yes! Woo! Holy smokes!
What? Guys, that was a workout.
So I got Hayden in position and she put a great shot on this bird. And then the funny thing is my boy woke up and he didn't even know the gun went off. So it was pretty comical. So it was a fun hunt and both girls were successful the same day. We were very excited to reach out to Kurt and tell him that Hayden was successful. And the girls were able to meet with both their birds together, take wonderful pictures together and bond and have a bunch of fun. It was just such a great experience for my boy to be on his first turkey hunt and to see success, but also the two girls to go out with killing birds. So it was a great hunt. Couldn't ask for anything better.
Oh my God.
Look at that right there. See it smiling at you?
Hello? I just got a Tom. Did you? Yeah. Well, congratulations. Thank you.
Hey, I hope you like what you're seeing. I certainly do. Remember, if you can't catch it right now, go to the Mossy Oak Go app. It'll be available there, and it's always free.
In every sport, there are many people that are good at the game. There are far fewer that are great. And then there are those precious few that go beyond great. Those that are so immersed in the sport that it consumes them. They are the specialists.
I'm Ernie Calandrelli with Quaker Boy Game Calls. I've worked full-time for them for 32 years. It's been a great ride, great industry. But I actually started helping Dick Kirby in 1977, which puts me right at about 40 years right now. Wingbone Calls is just something I like to do. I don't claim to be an artist, and trust me, I'm not even close to being an artist. But I enjoy doing them. It uses up some more of the turkey, and the people that I make it for really seem to enjoy them when I do give them one. But mine are from me, and they're from the heart, no doubt about it. You know, like most people, the first time I heard a wild turkey gobble, I mean, it just eats you up. It's a sickness. It's a disease. And I wanted to learn and know everything I could possibly learn about hunting wild turkeys. And part of that was, you know, I heard the old lores about the wingbone calls. And I read some magazine articles, you know, on, like 40 years ago that were written on making wingbone calls. But I also do remember seeing an old VHS tape where somebody actually made a wingbone. Well, as far as making a wingbone call, it's a long, drawn-out process. And the first thing you got to do, of course, is kill a turkey. So the first thing I do is I remove the wings from the turkey. Then then there's splits. You split it, and there is 3 bones. There's the one big bone that, of course, is the rotator bone, which is their main bone. Then the middle one has all their flight feathers on it. And then the last bone that will flip out, which is your actual mouthpiece, is the one who has the secondary flight feathers on that call. So what you do is, once you get the 3 bones separated, I scrape the meat with a knife and get it as good as I can, of course, and cut the meat off it. Then I want to cut them off, and and it varies. Whatever length you make each bone will actually change the sound of the call. So I don't even measure them or anything like that. I just chop them off or cut them off right where they're at, and however they turn out, they turn out. They all sound like a hen turkey, but they're either going to be high pitch, low pitch. Some of them may work a little easier than others, but you'll learn that as you go. Well, once I get all the meat cleaned off, then you have to get the marrow out of it. And the marrow is pretty, I'm going to say snotty in the 2 littler bones, the mouthpiece bone and the middle bone. So anymore, I know I used to have to run hot water in it and blow it to get it out. Once I get the bones cleaned out to where I like them, then I soak them at least 24 hours in hydrogen peroxide. Now, just normal hydrogen peroxide that you get at any store is fine. Once I get that done, then you have to shape them to fit. The little bone into the middle bone into the big bone. So you'll have to sand and grind, and again, this day and age, I'm using a Dremel tool, and I'll grind around till I get them to fit together. Once I get them to fit together, I will use super glue and just dab and go around each bone just to hold them. Once that gets held, I go to the hardware store and get that 2-part epoxy that you cut off in certain sections, and you mix it up with your fingers. Once it gets to where it's right, then I mold it around the 2 joints in the call. Once that gets hard, you sand it down to where it's somewhat level or as good as you can get it. And at the end, I wrap it with thread. Like I say, there are guys that really do pretty ones. They'll do a lot of designs on them, artistic work. They may put turkeys on them, turkey feathers, what have you. I'm not that artistic, but I still enjoy doing it. So what I do is I'll put my name on it or whatever, or write it to who I'm giving it to, and then I'll, from a big distance, put a clear coat on it. Then I'll hit it again after that dries. Then you can give it a little more juice with that clear coat to hopefully get that writing to stay on there. But once I get all said and done with that, as long as that call is good and clear, you put it on the corner of your lip of your mouth and get some suction to it, and you should sound like a hen turkey. A lot of people, they call me a specialist or an expert. Bottom line for me is I love to hunt, and I was lucky enough to do it for a living for over 30 years.
Hey, I hope you enjoyed what you're seeing here on the Live app. It's pretty incredible we're able to pull this off. Turkey season's rolling down a bunch of states, so be sure and don't miss Wednesday night, 7 p.m. on the Mossy Oak Go app. And always remember, hey, it's free.